Hello, I'm John Hutchinson. This is my wife Sherry. We're Hutchinson Farm Winery here in Apopka. And I'm going to talk today a little bit about the grapes that we grow here on the property and the wine that we make. These four wines are made from grapes that we grow right here on the property. 1995, I was looking for some acreage to buy because we at that time had 4 horses. My daughter and all of us rode, and we found this property just driving around. We retired from medicine, where I worked anywhere from 60 to 80 hours a week, and we retired in 2010, and all of a sudden we're out here on 5 acres with nothing to do. And we decided to expand our vineyard so that we could do different types of wine, different varieties. And we got started that way, and we're making more wine as a hobbyist than we could possibly drink. And we got tired of giving it away. So we decided to go on in the wine business. And here we are.
We like the vinifera wines, the Cabernets, the Merlots, Chardonnays. So we pick the grapes that we enjoy ourselves. Harvest is usually anywhere from the end of June to probably the middle of August, because Muscadines, which are one of the grape varieties we grow, do not all ripen at the same time. So because we're small enough, we can selectively pick the ones that are just at peak perfection to go into the wine. So we're doing multiple pickings between those. The bunch grapes, which we also grow, usually come in all at the same time, so we can pick those through and get them ready to destem and crush and press into juice and start fermentation. After
we pick, harvest, destem, crush, and press the grapes, we ferment them in varietals. In other words, all our Carlos grapes are kept separate from everything else. We make all of our varietals first. Then after the wine is made and we're happy with each of the varietals is when we start our blending. And that's when we blend the different wines to get the taste that we want from the blends. All right, right here in front of us, we've got 4 different varietals. This one right here is a Triumph varietal. These are Stover, which is a bunch grape. The Triumph is a Muscadine. These are bunch grapes. Over here are Carlos. They're another Muscadine.
We buy grapes from California. They usually come in anywhere from the end of September to the beginning of October. And so we have that to process and turn into wine. And then again in April, we buy juice and from Chile. In the wintertime, which is January, usually around the end of January, we start pruning the grapes, the Muscadines and the bunch grapes. With the bunch grapes, we can actually make cuttings about this long of the brush, the hard brush that we're cutting off the vines because they need to be pruned every year. And we take those and we put them in these containers with peat moss, and then we hit the root tone on the bottom, stick them in here, and they'll actually grow into plants. Once they're plants in the spring, we take them out and we put them in these pots. And this would be a first-year plant. It's smaller. And then we leave them in here until next year, and then they'll have a nice big root base, and then we'll plant them in the vineyards.
Well, we're going to keep doing it as long as we can do it. We're both in good health. I think working outside and staying busy is a key to long life. I've seen too many people that worked in a job that they didn't like and stayed in it because of the money, and then waited too long, retired, and they were dead in 2 years. So I'm not interested in that. I'll do it as long as I can, and as long as we're happy doing it, we'll continue doing it. Favorite part of the job is blending the wine.
Working outside, being with the plants.
I think my least favorite is hoeing the vineyard, because we've got about 3.5 acres, and that's a lot of hoeing at times.
When it gets too hot in the summertime.
Slogan is the best kept secret in Apopka.